Well, it's Friday afternoon and there's only a few hours to go before I start the first ever 48-hour challenge. Here's a reminder of the 9 people I'm racing against. First up, it's Marnie, the youngest competitor in the race. Then Ben, who's done no training. Rachel, who's also done no training. I've done a little bit, but not enough. Si, a man who can push himself to his absolute limit. James, the ultimate competitor. David, the complete outsider. Dave, one of our 2 Audax guys. Yayan, the second of the Audax guys. And pre-race favourite, Kimbo. Oh, one of those people is not leaving from Warwick with the rest of us. David is leaving from somewhere else. He's about to tell you where.
Okay then folks, this is my start position. I'm in a place called Blair Atholl in Scotland. Beautiful place of the world. And this is the start of my 48-hour challenge. Potentially a long couple of days ahead. So the plan is to obviously, this moment's time, head south.
So at 6 o'clock, the other 9 of us left from outside the Doe & Brew restaurant in Warwick.
See you Sunday! See you Sunday!
See you later, my love.
See you Sunday! Woo-hoo!
See you Sunday, she says. How does she know where I'm going?
So we've just had the Grand Depart from Warwick. It was lovely to have such a great send-off from the club.
Just over 2 hours in. Sun is setting, now seems as good a time as any to tell you what the plan was. I'm going for Derby. It's only 85k away, but I didn't want to make the task too big on the first night, and I'm basically going to back end load the ride by trying to do 160k tomorrow and then 200k on Sunday. Let's see how we're getting on.
Day 1, the sun is setting, life is good.
While I was having a nice relaxed ride through Derbyshire, Rachel was not having a good time.
So when my gear cables broke at 35k in, I had some decisions to make. I've carried on, but I've taken the straight line along what is a rather busy A road towards Nottingham. Cross your fingers, everything's okay. Even the farmer's working late, look.
By 10 o'clock I was riding my way through the back lanes into the city of Derby. I bet I'm the first one to go to bed tonight as well. Tactical decision.
It's Friday night, 10:30, Stoke-on-Trent.
By midnight on Friday, Ben and Marnie were in Northampton. I was in bed in Derby with Rachel not far away in Nottingham. Simon was just a bit further up the road in Newark. Yayan, Dave and Kimbo were clustered close together in Leek, Stoke-on-Trent and Trentham. James was ahead of all of those who had started in Warwick and had already reached Alderley Edge. And David was still in Scotland, riding south.
Morning Paul. So I'm just off the A74, just heading towards Carlisle, drinking a Starbucks coffee in a service station at 3 AM in the morning. So the group chat's been firing up a little bit this morning already. So far I think we've learned that Dave slept in a hedge, James has had some Doritos in a bus stop, and Mr. Bernie himself reckons he's just getting up for breakfast. I think he's bluffing. I think he's been on the road for a while.
The man had followed his sat-nav to the gig at Peak Cavern, which is known as...
So morning on day 2, just had a meal deal in a petrol station, which is I think standard, and met this bizarre, random, amazing character. Who'd have thought that?
Indeed.
Honestly,
Crazy.
we are not in cahoots. There's no drafting going on. Pure coincidence, no sharing of routes or anything like that.
Over the course of the weekend, it did feel like we spent most of our time sitting in McDonald's or in a petrol station.
Crisps, bottle of sugar, and sausage ring roll.
For reasons best known to themselves, Ben and Marnie chose to ride off-road on Saturday.
For the sake of speed, I've just been riding the A1. I can't recommend it. £160k I've had to do before I've seen a good hedge. Come on, everybody, get your shears out.
By mid-afternoon on Saturday, I was so knackered, I fell asleep outside a Costa near a busy roundabout.
Just done 100 miles and hit the top of Shap Summit, 1,000
50 feet of desolate moorland and crossroads. It is 6 p.m. on Saturday. It is half time. 24 hours into this 48-hour challenge. These rooftops behind me, that is the southern tip of Carlisle. I've ridden 163 miles today, so 229 miles since we left Warwick 24 hours ago. I am broken. See you later.
Well, 6 o'clock, Saturday night, 24 hours done. I'm sure some of the rest are still on the road. I'm not. I'm done for the day. I'm sitting in a B&B at a pub. Big day ahead tomorrow.
I've just got in from over 350 odd kilometres today. I'm a broken man. I'm not sure I've got anything left in me for tomorrow, but we'll see. That was quite possibly the hardest ride I've ever done. I thought it was never going to end.
So by halfway, Yayan had been forced to retire with a knee injury. Ben and Marnie were in Great Hawksley. Rachel and I were still less than 20 kilometres apart in North Yorkshire. David reached Sedbergh, Kimbo was in Carlisle. Over on the east coast, a monumental effort had put Simon just south of Durham. James had crossed the Scottish border and was in Dumfries and Galloway. And out front, David was continuing his mammoth first effort and was close to Bolton with over 400 kilometres completed non-stop. To give myself a fighting chance on Sunday, I was up and out early, straight to a petrol station for a hit of caffeine, but the reward for the early start was fantastic views in North Yorkshire.
Things are going wrong already. Been riding for about 5 minutes now. It's not picking up the navigation. It still thinks I'm in the hotel for some reason. So I've got no navigation currently. I don't know what the fuck to do.
Well, at least I tried to wash my socks, but I've got to dry them. So I'm going to improvise and stick them on a warm kettle.
Good morning! This is my morning update. It's day 3 of the 48-hour challenge. I was starving this morning, so I've had a lot of breakfast. So yeah, good luck to everyone else on the challenge.
Dear Ronald McDonald, how do you make such shit coffee? Fuck.
Scotland. Slower than some, but I made it.
Well, this literally is a sight for sore eyes. Somehow it feels like Kimbo got the best of the views and the worst of the weather.
Well, that escalated quickly. Scotland, that's about it.
Once I'd gone through Newcastle, it was pretty slow going to reach Alnwick, but I still had 2 hours left. Ben and Marnie reached Lowestoft and must have wished they had gone a different direction because they ran out of land. Seriously? The last kilometre. Finished. I'm in the town of Belford, just short of Berwick on Tweed. 200k today. 455 I think in total. Won't be first, but maybe not last. What an experience. Oh, I've now got to ride 16 kilometres back to the train station. Detroit. What a way to finish the challenge. 17k hard ride back to Chat Hill train station. Just made it in time for the train, and then the train was cancelled. So now I've got to ride another hour back to the next train station. Ended up a very, very long day. And so at the finish, Ben and Marnie had reached their planned destination in Lowestoft. Dave had reached Lockerbie after being forced to retire with a mechanical. Rachel had reached her goal in Alnwick with an hour to spare, got off her bike and went for a glass of wine. After some words of encouragement from my family, I had made it to Belford. Simon, who reached King Lassie in central Fife. And our top 3 were Kimbo crossed over the 600 kilometre mark in Moneydye, James, who was in Braemar where he had stopped near a brewery, and the outright winner, David, had covered almost 800 kilometres in a staggering ride from Blair Atoll to Salisbury.
Quick video in front of Salisbury Cathedral. So just finished the 48-hour cycling challenge. I won't be doing another one for a while. It is a big ask, but I loved it. Overall, super happy with that distance. That's a big number. Thank you very much. Don't know what else to say. I'm glad it's over. Glad it's over. This isn't going to be one of those things where if you do the first one, you've got to do it every year, is it?
Well, to answer your question, Kimbo, yes, there will definitely be a next year, and yes, I think you should take part. I'm definitely going to do it again. Oddly, this was one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done on a bike, and I got nowhere near my limit. I think I could have ridden over 500 kilometres for the 48 hours. If only I'd spent less time faffing about, less time sleeping, less time wandering around petrol stations and sitting in McDonald's. So there's a lot more to come from me, and I learnt loads doing this. If you're interested and you want to see all the stats from the ride, where everybody went, their distance covered, their elevation, etc., you can find all of that on my website at ridingalongmyhome.com. Let's see how many people want to take part for next year though. See you soon.